Hey, what's up everyone, FM Journeyman here and welcome to the FN Lab. Today's experiment, we're going to look at Wilfred Ndidi after he completed a £15 million move to Leicester City. Now, honestly, I didn't know that much about the guy until I looked a little bit of fact sheets up about him. He is obviously a 20-year-old Nigerian international player, only 8 caps to his name, so that's a very good start to his career. He's only played for pretty much one club before that, and that was Genk in Belgium. He's just a very, looks like a very talented young player indeed. Could be one of those young FM wonder kids we all heard so much about. And obviously, been looking at him as an individual player at 20 years old, his versatility is going to be key for the club. He can play fullback either side, can play in defence, but his primary role is a deep-lying midfielder. According to this, a defensive midfielder and a ball-winning preferably. But regardless, I think he's got a lot of growing. I think he could be an absolute stud and an absolute superstar for Leicester City. So, a couple of things to talk about in this experiment. The first thing is I'm going to do a review. I'm going to do 3 seasons. I'm going to review at the end of every single season. And also, with this experiment in mind, obviously this is not a perfect science. Unfortunately, I can only do what was in the Football Manager kind of like parameters. There are certain things beyond my control when it comes to the experiment. I did the best I can, so I simulated to the 11th of January, which is today when I'm recording this, and I basically added them then. I make sure there wasn't any transfers in between, so the squads are pretty much intact to what they are today. Obviously, things I can't affect are Leicester's performance prior to this date in the league, unfortunately. Maybe in the next game they might do like a live table. That would be fantastic. Anyway, but currently Leicester sit 5th in the table before the Ndidi sign-in. And honestly, let's go ahead and skip to the end of the first season and let's see how well he performed. Okay everyone, welcome back. So let's see how Wilfred Ndidi did at the end of the first season. Let's take a look at his season stats. So let me see, in the Premier League he made only 4 appearances, 2 coming off the bench. He played most of his games though in the Euro Cup, 12 appearances apparently. Did they do really well this year or something? 12 appearances, that seems a little too high. I'll have to double check that. Anyway, he scored 1 goal with 1 assist, 1 man of the match award with an average rating of 6.73. So nothing really too spectacular there. He is only 20 years old and he's had to fight for a spot with a number of quality midfield players. Leicester City themselves finished 7th in the table, which is pretty respectable. I mean, it's not the Championship, but that's still a pretty respectable finish for Leicester. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and skip to the end of Season 2 to see if there's been any growth in him as an individual or any potential growth as again for Leicester City. Alright, so here we are at the end of Season 2 with Wilfred Ndidi at Leicester. So he, look at his attributes, he's actually improved in some key areas. Mentally, he's kind of rounded out a bit more. Physically, he's improving, as you would expect. And technical, also a few attributes have improved as well. Primarily tackling, I think, has gone up a little bit. This season, let's look at the season stats. Now, this season, he started 18 games, 19 off the bench, 4 goals, 4 assists, average rating of 6.83. So pretty solid. Hasn't really made too many waves thus far. I think he's only played 12 games in the Premier League, which isn't a lot. I expected a lot more. Let me see, obviously he played pretty much every game for his nation, Nigeria. He actually scored 2 goals and 2 assists there with an average rating of 7.12, so he did very well for his international team. Euro Cup, he was pretty poor though, as you can see, an average rating of 6.37. But overall, he's doing okay. Nothing spectacular, nothing really Nothing really interesting, to be honest with you. Let's look at the Premier League real quick. As you can see, Leicester, they finished in 6th place. So that's again a pretty solid performance for the Foxes. So let's go ahead and just skip one more season to see if there's been any progression for Wilfred Ndidi. Right now, he looks like he's a solid rotation player. Maybe that will change next season. Okay, so here we are at the end of Season 3 with Wilfred Ndidi at Leicester City. Now look at his attributes. They are growing very slowly. He is only 22 years old, but he is making significant improvements since he signed for the club. Let's take a look at his season stats. Let me see. He started 5 games in the Premier League, 22 appearances coming off the bench. Overall for the season, he had 17 starts, 28 appearances from the bench, 2 goals, 3 assists, and an average rating of 6.70. So very solid, very consistent, I've noticed. So a pretty solid performance in him year round. Let's take a look at Leicester, see how well they did. They finished 6th in the table, so they maintain the status as a European team. Yeah, that pretty much is going to wrap up this FM Lab experiment. I just wanted to see if he'll make any kind of impact for them in a short period of time. And according to the Football Manager, he's going to be in the squad. He's going to be a kind of a squad rotation player, but he's not going to be playing, not going to be starting in too many games for them. But what do you guys think? Do you think Wilfred Ndidi will turn out to be a quality signing for Leicester? He certainly has all the capabilities to be a very like a powerhouse in the middle of the midfield. If not, at least to be a very solid signing. But what do you guys think? Do you think he'll make an impact this season? And what do you think for the future? Do you think he'll be a future key player for them? And I'm interested to know how well Ndidi did for you in your Football Manager saves as well. That's going to be pretty interesting. So just put all those remarks in the comments below. I'll be interested to read them. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, remember to hit that like button. I appreciate it. It will help this channel grow. Thank you guys once again, and I'll see you guys in the next experiment. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.